Hello and welcome to the UK and Ireland Minnesota Vikings Fan Club podcast. I am your host and co-president, Big Deal Rich, and tonight I'm joined by my compatriot, three amigos from the fan club, all-round nice guy and vice president, Mr. John McDonald, co-president and show producer, Mr. Reece Field, and content lead and lovely, lovely guy, Tom Parry Jones. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
Oh, it's such a good feeling to hear all that. It's a special episode because the 53-man roster has been announced. So we are going to run through it, but it's just been a big week of news in the NFL this week. Obviously, everyone's going to tier the news of what is the biggest piece of news, what's not the biggest piece of news. I think the biggest piece of news, obviously, today has been the return of Adam Thielen. So as you can see, some Adam Thielen jerseys on the podcast. What else has happened? There we go. So I'm not a proper plastic fan, me. I haven't got a Thielen jersey, but I will put that to right later on in the season. There's been some cuts. Obviously, when we talk about the 53-man roster, we've also got to talk about the guys that are now out of a job. So we can get as excited as we possibly can about the 53-man roster, but we also have to think about those guys that are now scrabbling around, fighting for a team, trying to get a place on the practice squad, all that sort of stuff. But I'm sure you three will all agree. Top tier, biggest news in the NFL this week. The nicest guy this size of Kansas has managed to bag himself a missus. That's right. Our own co-president and producer, Reece Field, has got engaged this week. Congratulations, Reece.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, that's. I wasn't expecting that to come up.
Hey, we're not going to leave.
Well, we're not doing it again.
No, we're not doing it again. Some other guy got engaged as well. Apparently, that was on the news, but not as big as.
Ring's not as nice anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
That's what brings you a little warmth to the heart, doesn't it? Anyway, we'll move swiftly on, and we'll start talking about our 53-man roster. I think the easiest way to do this is Reece, Tom, John. I'm sure you won't mind me saying this. You two are probably the most organised out of us four to look through this list. So I'm going to go. Let's go position group by position group. Reece, I'm going to start with you. Tell us who's made our 53-man roster.
So quarterbacks, obviously, Max Brosma. He's landed a place on the roster. He was guaranteed.
He's our QB1, yeah?
It might be someone else. But yeah, Max Broma's outstanding preseason. It guaranteed him a spot, wasn't it? It was the only reason any of us watched that last preseason game. Of course.
I watched the first half.
You still watched it then?
Yeah, it was pretty.
I saw him look all right.
Only reason to watch it was Max Brosma.
Exactly.
Well, you got to support the Golden Gopher.
Oh, yeah, of course, support the Gopher. Carson Wentz has signed, and of course, JJ McCarthy will be the starter. But it just shows that you can trade Sam Howell to the Eagles to get the picks rather, to trade for Adam Thielen. So the Sam Howell trade is a winner in the end.
There you go. It's been a bit of an odd week, really, looking around of how that trade has panned out. I think the first thing we need to say is that I think with Max, one, congratulations for making the squad. What a guy. I think all of the news coming out of camp is that he's just a genuinely nice guy. But are we thinking that he's made the roster because of the strides that he's made in preseason? Do you think, because I don't think he's anywhere near his ceiling, but looks a quite credible NFL backup quarterback. Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, he's slid quite easily into this Vikings offense. Like, he seems to be a good learner. Obviously, he's picked up a lot from KOC very quickly. And although most of the time when he was on the field in the preseason games, he was playing against second-team defenses, even third-team defenses, he still looked pretty reasonable. And I think getting him back in the building as our QB3 is the right call. As well as getting rid of Sam Howell, who looked absolutely abysmal, and getting in Carson Wentz, who's got a Super Bowl ring, which none of our Vikings players have, as Vikings.
it's like saying that the substitute Manchester United goalkeeper has a FA Cup ring. There's all sorts of.
You leave Scott Parson out this.
There's all sorts of.
How dare you? He was Man City.
Hasn't he got 2 Super Bowl rings?
Oh, has he?
With
Yes.
As a chief.
As an eagle, as a chief.
As an eagle, yeah.
No.
I think he's only got 1.
Yeah. So last season they didn't win.
I mean, he's been involved than anyone in this room. So let's face facts. I think. I think he's got more NFL wins than. Has he got more NFL wins than our starting quarterback had at the start of last season? So it's not like we've brought in a terrible quarterback, but we have got rid of Sam Howell, who was not the answer. I think we all agree that he was not the answer at all. And I think our quarterback room looks in pretty good shape. And we've brought in some veteran presence to be able to help JJ McCarthy through the season, which is also another good thing. Tom, I'm coming to you next. Next position group. Who else has made the 53?
Well, I guess I'd better come to the running backs next. That seems the logical position. So we've got Aaron Jones. Naturally, he was our starter last season, and Jordan Mason's also made it, obviously, because we brought him in the off season. CJ Ham hasn't made it, but that's only because he's on injured reserve. So no fullback on the 53 right now, but he'll be back some point after the first 4 games. But then you've got the battle for RB3 in Ty Chandler, who we weren't sure was going to make it, and Xavier Scott, who looked very, very good in the snaps he got in preseason.
Yeah, I'm going to throw out another pun. He looks pretty handy. Wide receiver converted to running back. I think it's a good move. I liked him in preseason. John, I'm going to put you on the spot because I've got a feeling that at least one of the 5 names mentioned there, including CJ Ham, is not going to make the actual final 53. Have you got an understanding idea of who you would actually want to make it? Who do you think drops out?
Well, I think we all know Chandler's there as a bit of trade bait for anyone that's really searching for a number 2 or 3 running back. But CJ Ham has been put on the IR list, but he can be back for week 1 because it's done pre-season, so he can be back for week 1. So that's just a precaution. They're just pretty much put him on there until they sort the 53, so they can pretty much have him safe there.
I mean, he doesn't play any snaps anyway, so it's not like he needs to do any pre-season training. I know you're shaking your head. I know he's scored a touchdown to make London last year. I know, but I still think we massively underutilise it. And I'm gonna blow that hole until we do start. TPJ, you feel like you're going to say something?
Yeah, no. According to, I've just read the Vikings.com article, and it does say that because the placing of CJ Ham on injured reserve along with Tyler Batty, because that happened during roster reductions, they do have to miss the first 4 games of the season.
Oh
wow!
So they are designated for return, but they do have to miss the first 4 games. So the earliest that we'll see CJ Ham is in London.
Is in London.
Where he scored a touchdown last season.
No. Does that make my point punt thing void because he can't play? He can't literally play in Dublin.
Oh, I don't know. Did we say? I think last time we did pint punts, we put in a stipulation of injury. We put in an injury stipulation. We didn't say that this year. There was no injury stipulation this year.
You've got to cover yourself.
Take it as read. Take it as read.
I think you said Dublin. I think you said, international games. So he could still be traded and
interesting
score a touchdown in Madrid.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen, John. And I'm just going to lick my lips at that point you're going to give me. But yeah, I think I like Scott in preseason. Ty Chandler has had plenty of opportunities, and in patches has looked like a serviceable running back, but he's not going to take any snaps over Mason and over Jones. And like I say, Scott looks pretty handy. So it looks like that's going to be our triple running back threat going into the season. Reece, back to you. Who's the next skill set?
It's receivers next. Of course, first of all, like CJ Ham not being listed last time, there is no Jordan Addison listed. He's on the commissioner's suspended list for being a naughty boy a year ago. So you've got Justin Jefferson, Jalen Naylor, Ty Felton, special teams punt returning, kick returning ace, Miles Price, special teams penalty committer, Tim Jones, and now, of course, Adam Thielen, who's not on the 53. And someone may be waived to make plays for him who's not been confirmed yet. We're refreshing Schefter as this pod goes on.
For the uninitiated, me, and potentially other people listening, when we have to bring a person in and then waive a player, do they have to come from the same position group, or can they come from anywhere over the
Anywhere.
roster? And if it is anywhere, what's your inkling of who that might be?
Good question.
My gut says maybe Chas Chambliss or potentially Travere Thomas, or it could be Tim Jones. I wasn't too impressed with Tim Jones. I mean, I might have heard that when I come to the special teams penalty committer, because he was brought as a special teams specialist, and in the first 2 games he committed special teams penalties or 3 special teams penalties. So not sold on Tim Jones.
We know.
And
with
the other thing is it's not necessarily going to be a waiver. It could just be a cut, because waivers means that if you waive a player, that means that they go onto the waiver wire, which means any other team can just snag them as a waived player. But it goes in. I think it goes in reverse order of the team's records that season or the season before if the new season hasn't started yet. It's all very complicated, but it's very like they have specific terminology, so it's not, you're not waiving them, you might be cutting them.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think coming back to KOC's F-bomb on the commentary the other night, one thing we know that he absolutely despises is penalties, unnecessary penalties. So coming back to your point, Reece, I think that the couple that you've named as a potential cut wave, that doesn't sound too bad. Ty Felton, I'm happy that's made the roster. I know it's unlikely to have been dropped, but yeah, I thought he looked pretty good pre-season. Could only get better. Highly regarded in college.
Held out in the 3rd preseason game due to an injury concern. So obviously they weren't sure on the Thielen trade at the time. Jalen Naylor's banged up. Justin Jefferson missed a good portion of camp. So, yeah, I think they had to protect him because he could have been our number 1 receiver if no one got healthy.
I'll tell you what's a good question. John, I'm going to come to you with it. If Addison doesn't miss games at the start of the season, do we still trade for a wide receiver? Are we that banged up? Or are we thinking that this is decent cover for the first few games and the rest of the season?
I honestly don't think we'd trade for another receiver if Addison's not suspended, because we've got a decent run game now. So that's always something we can run back. We can rely on. Fingers crossed. But I don't see us trading for Thielen if Addison's not suspended, personally.
So this is Addison's fault that we've had to give away picks for a wide receiver this season. I'm just asking.
Yes, it's his fault.
Asking questions.
But
stirring the pot is what you're doing.
You're just trying to justify your calls to trade Addison at the end of the season, which is ludicrous.
I'm starting to think it's not just a bit.
No, I think he's serious.
Anyway, I've got my own opinions of who we pay next season, and the cap hit's looking. I know we can make some changes and some moves to less impact that cap hit, but the cap hit next season is not great. We're not in a great position, and if we're taking on more and more expensive players, it sounds like we're taking on his full contract as well. Adam Thielen. This isn't just
but he's only 1 year. Is he
1 year with some dead void years and stuff?
Yeah, he's got a couple of void years, but the void years aren't worth much. They're like maybe 3 million 1 year and $1 million the next, or something like that.
And they do these void years in a way that when the salary cap goes up, your void years almost don't count for anything, because where the cap's gone up, you're covering your void years. It's the same way as I think it was one of the quarterbacks signed recently. They worked out how his salary cap went up, or his cap hit went up. It went up in line with what the forecasted increase in the salary cap was. So it didn't really have that impact on the percentage of the team.
And I get it. All I'm saying is that is a very expensive wide receiver 3. When if Addison doesn't get his suspension, we maybe save that for a different skill set. That's all I'm saying.
I've got to ask you, Rich. We've traded for Thielen. Were you more on the camp of trade for Jacoby Myers and offer him a contract instead, or is Thielen the best that we could get?
Well, KJ Osborne was free. Could have walked onto the team. He knows the offense. He was cut last season. Declining wide receiver, no doubt about that. It's not like he was as good as what he was when he was with us, and we cut him for a reason. It's not like we wanted to keep him around. But are the first 3 games of the season so important that we needed to get an relatively expensive Adam Thielen in the building for the rest of the season? Or because obviously we're going to look at this through purple tinted glasses, because Adam Thielen, you 3 have got Adam Thielen jerseys. The club chat today has gone off on one saying Adam Thielen is back in the building. Everyone's been following his misses on Instagram. This isn't a rational thought process, I don't think, from the fan base. Of if someone had just said at the beginning of the season, do you want Adam Thielen back in the building? No one would have gone, well, it does depend on the trade picks, and it does depend on it. Everyone just goes, yes. It's an easy thing to say because he's a local legend. All I'm saying is that if you take away Addison's misgivings, we don't have to do that, and potentially some of the other rooms in the roster in the building, especially at cornerback, look light, and maybe we could have traded for someone better within that room if we didn't have to make this trade. And it was a have to make this trade. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think you can trade for anyone better. I think Carolina have got 3 up-and-coming young wide receivers. Thielen's an older guy. He's a veteran presence. In terms of making the trade, it makes sense. He knows the offense. He knows the state. He knows the team. Everyone likes him. No one's going to be upset if Thielen comes out of these next 3 games with 12 catches for 80 yards, whatever, because we know that's the role he's there for.
Let's be clear about what the compensation was, actually, because people may not have seen what the news was. So obviously the Vikings get Adam Thielen, but we also get a conditional 7th round pick next season and a 5th round pick, not conditional, in 2027. And then we've traded to Carolina a 5th rounder in the next draft, 2026, which is basically what we got for Sam Howell. And Carolina also gets a 2027 4th round pick. Once you balance out the 2 5ths, even though they're in different seasons, basically we've given up a 4th to get a conditional 7th and Adam Thielen. I don't think that a 4th 2 years down the road is too much to give up. And we still have the option of using other draft picks to bring in and strengthen the cornerback room.
I'm not saying it's a good deal. And at the end of the day, a 4th, given our draft history, is not such a bad thing when you know what you're getting. So, yeah. Especially did I read right that the Eagles, to make room for Sam Howell, cut Lewis Seen?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's funny.
That's a bit of an odd situation. The poor guy. Anyway, we could go on and on and on, but we are going to we'll go on, Tom, if you've got a quick one.
Yeah, I was just going to say, but I was just checking on overthecap.com, really valuable resource for looking at NFL contracts and things, also for compensatory draft picks. They have updated Adam Thielen's profile to say that he's on a base salary now of $6.25 million, with a per game roster bonus of $750,000 and other bonuses of $500,000. I don't think that's per game, so that'll be a flat $500K, and he'll cost us a cap number of $7.2 million this season. And they've said also that 2026 and 2027 are void years, but they have a 0 cap number.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how reliable that is, but they're usually pretty good on these things. Overthecap.com.
Yeah, like I say, it was a necessary trade. We've probably got one of, if not the best veteran wide receiver, especially for our scheme and our fit, for our fans. I think everyone's pretty happy about it. I'm just playing devil's advocate, if you like.
Well, the biggest question is what happens after Addison comes back.
Yeah.
Like, does Adam Thielen become our third choice wide receiver? Do we maybe trade him on somewhere else? Like that?
I think
That's
you
an
trade
option.
Naylor.
Well, whoever, like there are options there. You can trade whoever. You could trade Jordan Addison and have Adam Thielen as your wide receiver too for the rest of the season.
That guy who's going to
could trade Justin Jefferson.
Well,
Yeah,
I you wouldn't get much for him.
Like injury-prone wide receiver. Yeah.
Made of glass. I mean, glass cannon he is.
A couple of sevens, maybe.
Shall I do the tight ends then?
Go on then, bring it on.
No, go on. What were you going to say? I cut you off.
Go on. Let's move on. Yeah, come on.
We have talked a lot about Adam Thielen.
Let's move on because I nearly died and you said trade Jefferson.
If you had a hat, you'd have thrown it on the floor.
I'm only quoting Rich from last season.
We'll not get into that today.
Rich just loves trading away blue chip wide receivers. Tight ends. Obviously, we've named TJ Hawkinson as our primary tight end. Josh Oliver is stuck around on the roster, but there's no room for Giovanni Ricci, Bryson Nesbitt, or there was a third one, Nick Vannett. Nick Vannett was just going to be a camp body anyway. Nesbitt looked okay in the games he played. Ricci, I don't think played anywhere near enough. So yeah, we've got those three in Hawkinson, Oliver, and Ben Urasek. Gavin Bartholomew goes on PUP because he's got a pretty serious back injury. And he won't play. Yeah, he won't play probably at all this season. It's pretty by the numbers, this tight ends room.
Urasek was one of our rookie picks in the draft.
No, he was
undrafted free agent.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of six.
Bartholomew, something like that. Bartholomew was the one we picked in the draft around the time of Kobe King. Okay. So yeah, he's unfortunately going to be one of our draftees who doesn't see the field at all in 2025.
Practice squad, you never know. I think the tight end room.
Nesbitt for the practice squad.
Yeah, I think we pretty much knew, as long as we were going into the season with Hawkinson and Oliver, whatever else we were going in with was going to be someone who was very close to that room and understood their skill set, rather than us trying to guess who that possibly could have been. So that makes sense to me. And I love an undrafted free agent. So getting another person.
What's his name?
Which one? Pace, Bo,
John Randall.
Was LDR? Was he a late pick or undrafted?
He was 7th round last year.
Out of Texas A&M Commerce.
Wasn't he the secret? He was like the secret draftee that the Athletic got to write articles last year, wasn't he?
This was Adam Thielen. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Not just undrafted. He was a rookie tryout. Just walked up to the stadium and tried out. Reece, do you want to take us through the offensive line?
Yeah, that's another surprise in there, I guess. But yeah, they've said the starting offensive line, which of course is Christian Darrisaw, Donovan Jackson, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, Brian O'Neill. Then making the team as their backups, Blake Randall, Michael Juergens, Walter Rouse, Justin Skol, and undrafted free agent Joe Huber.
I don't know how Justin School's made this team.
I think they like.
Is that the guy from the Bucks?
Was he Bucks?
I don't think so. Hang on.
He started a lot for like 3-4 years before last year, and I think
he was the guy from the Bucks. Yeah. He was the guy from the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm not that much of a novice, and I was pretty confident where he came from. I mean, to be fair, our starting offensive line for me, I reckon. I mean, I'm a pretty positive guy. It looks good to a point where I reckon I could stand behind him and make a throw. So I'm pretty. I mean, we've still got a couple of people who I'd rather not have, and that, but hopefully they never have to play. The only problem is our offensive line, more or less for the past 3 seasons, one of them, 2 of them, 3 of them might have to play. So at least we've got some people in the building that know the scheme, that know the cadence and all that sort of stuff. So, but our starting offensive line, I'm going to put my neck out there and say, as good as anyone else in the NFL.
Certainly up there.
as long as Darasaur is coming back as the Darasaur we know, there is no reason this team can't run with, violence, and we've got the athleticism to actually have a screen game now.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. I mean, taking the whole offense as a package, we've got weapons, we've got depth, we've got a good O-line. JJ McCarthy is a serial winner. He's not taken a snap in the NFL yet, but I think we all believe in him.
How many boxes of Weetabix did he win?
See, I get it. But I think what it gives us is options. Outside of JJ McCarthy having to be a star, if he is a mediocre quarterback in the NFL, because of the rest of that offensive room, we're a good team. And because of the defense, what we'll come on to next, again, an even better team. So I'm absolutely thrilled with the running back room. I think, again, I'm pretty confident Mason is going to outdo Jones throughout the season. Bringing Adam Thielen back is just a good thing for everyone. We're all happy with that. We don't pay the salaries, so we don't care. And Justin Jefferson doesn't need a camp. He's just the best wide receiver in football. So I think we're all comfortable with how the offense is looking. Let's move on to the big D. TPJ, you go next.
Is that my new nickname?
If you want it, mate.
Yeah, I'll take it. You're big deal, Rich. I'm big D TPJ. Defensive line.
No.
And this is the one we can't edit. Why is this happening now?
This happens every time you invite me on. Right, defensive line. We have Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, and Jalen Redmond are the ostensible starters on that three-man defensive line, backed up by Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, Levi Drake Rodriguez, and Elijah Williams. Obviously, they had enough confidence in Tyrion Ingram Dawkins to let Harrison Phillips go. I think we're all quite sad to see Harrison Phillips out the door, but as I think, what is he, 29 and coming into the last year of a contract, maybe next year, I think it was the right time to let him go, especially to get draft picks in return for him, and opening up that salary cap amount. I'm excited to see how this defensive line plays, because obviously we haven't seen much of them in preseason. But yeah, bringing in Allen and Hargrave from other teams in off season, and then drafting Ingram Dawkins, this could be a scary front seven.
Absolutely could be. John, I'm coming over to you. I think we all have to pour one out for Phillips, because he's just a really, really nice guy and good to have in the building. John, you met him on one occasion when we went over to Minnesota. What are your feelings on Phillips not being in the squad next year?
Sad to lose him as a player. He's a brilliant player, brilliant human. But as Tom says, they must have confidence in that line if they're willing to trade him. So yeah, sad to lose him, but it's just business.
The team goes on, as they say. Reece, behind that 7, who's going to be on the next defensive line?
Do you mean the linebackers or the outside linebackers?
Outside, inside. You can do the whole linebacker room. It's totally up to you.
Do the outsiders.
I'll do the outsiders. Speaking of outsiders, sorry, Daz, this is not going to be nice for you. Outside linebackers, Jonathan Grenard and Andrew Van Giegel.
Put your teeth in.
I can't. I've put my teeth in. I've got the second headphone is playing with my mind here. Sorry. Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel are the starters. You've got your backups of Dallas Turner, Bo Richter, and Chaz Chambliss. No, Gabriel Murphy, which is we don't know why Darius not here tonight, but we feel like that might have something to do with it, because he was pretty confident that how little Murphy played against the Patriots, or no, was it the Patriots? Okay, the week when you were recording, I wasn't here. He sounded extremely confident that the reason he didn't play was because he was going to get traded, or I don't know. I mean, he destroyed the Patriots when he did play, so I'm surprised that he didn't make the roster myself. But maybe they've seen enough and just go, well, he's not going to contribute on special teams, and that's why guys like Chaz Chambliss have made the roster.
I mean,
they would probably shop windowing him.
Let's not question Daz's football knowledge, but he was
Oh,
wrong.
no, not at all.
He was. Let's not belabor the point. He was wrong.
He was very wrong.
He was very wrong.
Your 53 was a complete waste of time, Daz.
Jesus. I think the other reason Chambliss has made the team is that Tyler Batty's gone on injured reserve. I think he stood a chance of making it. But yeah, I actually had Chaz Chambliss as my player to watch in the last preseason game, and he was worth watching for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, well put. I mean, no, we saw it last season. Grenard, Van Ginkel, no one's unseating them for starting positions, but Dallas Turner is turning some heads. Is at a proper off season. Second season in the NFL. We're all hoping that he does really well. And B-Flow managed to get all three of them on the field at times. If you're a quarterback behind a suspect offensive line in the NFL and you've got those three bearing down on you, you're not going to have a good day. So, and Bo Richter again, undrafted free agent, one of my favourite guys in the squad. I think that room just looks really good, and long may it continue, especially with with B-Flow at the helm. Interior, how's the interior looking?
Interior is looking fine. We have the same interior guys as last season in Blake Cashman and Ivan Pace Jr. A newbie, or a familiar face, but it's still a newbie for this season. Eric Wilson will probably be the primary backup at the interior linebacker spot, along with Kobe King, who was a 6th-round pick in the draft, and then Austin Keys, who I think was a undrafted free agent. I could be wrong, but
yes,
I don't know much about him. But he's obviously done enough to get on the 53. So yeah, Cashman, Pace, Wilson, King, and Keys.
Cashman and Pace, obviously, them two guys are going to start. One got green dotted in his first season as an undrafted free agent, and then passed on that baton to the best jawline in the NFL in Cashman. So again, it's just scary. That is, considering the front three, then the secondary four. We don't really need safeties and corners, do we? Because no one's going to be able to get the ball out.
I was just about to say,
who
who needs this secondary when you've got that coming at you? And unfortunately, the Vikings seem to think the same.
Well, I think we could quite easily gush over the defensive line and linebacker room for a long time, but we do have to look at two rooms that have got some not question marks. The safety rooms maybe not got question marks for this season. Obviously, we've got a really, really good substitute in Smith that might play a few games this year. But are we thinking next season? How does that room pan out? How does it look? What does it look like for the season? Are we happy with it?
Which room? Sorry, you've mentioned like
four.
four.
Well, let's start with the safeties.
I'm going for safeties, am I? Okay.
Apparently so. Rich has decided.
Wow. Okay. So we've got Josh Metellus, Harrison Smith as starters. Okay. No doubt about this time. Harrison Smith is a starter. Theo Jackson, Tavayer Thomas, and Jay Ward. And I like Jay Ward. I like it because he's sort of being touted as the next safety out of the Minnesota safety factory that we seem to produce. We're good at
Theo Jackson as well.
Yeah,
the front office liked him enough to give him a new contract for like $8 million over the summer. So
exactly. Who needs to draft Kyle Hamilton and pay him $100 million to play safety when
we should have done?
Let's not bring
that. I was thinking this earlier. Like it was a mistake to not draft Kyle Hamilton, but like if you're looking at a guy you've now got to pay $100 million to, and you've got Justin Jefferson who's earning $100 million, like that's more than half your cap on two players.
But that's why you have a rookie quarterback, surely, so you can pay all these other players.
That's the cheat code. That's the cheat code.
God.
And then it'll be Archie Manning in 4 years' time, maybe. I don't know.
Well, we haven't seen much of Metellus and Smith over preseason, obviously, because they're being wrapped in cotton wool ahead of week one. But I don't think we can say anything wrong about the starting safeties. And I'm pretty confident with Jackson and Ward as well. Taviri Thomas, I'm not so sure, but there's a reason he's third choice on the depth chart.
Yeah, I think we're okay for this season. That room might look a bit different next season, especially with Hitman Harry having to probably depart the team. I mean, if you wind him up, he keeps on going. But
how many years have we been saying that?
Yeah, well, exactly. That's what I mean. I almost caught my own tongue and thinking, well, is he going to go? I don't know. No one knows.
Let's face it, it's pretty obvious the plan. It's bring back Thielen, get Thielen and Smith a ring. Both can retire happy. Vikings win the Super Bowl. We're all happy.
Yeah. I mean, I'd quite like it if we could bring back Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr and Jared Allen
and Cook,
John Randall.
Yeah, all of them. Just bring them all back. Alan Page, get him on the field for a few snaps.
Moss, you keep saying Moss deserved a ring with the Vikings. Let's get him on a one-game contract for the Super Bowl as well. Yeah. Anyway,
did he ever win one?
No. They lost the Super Bowl to the Giants, didn't they?
As he famously said,
he never won one with the Patriots either.
No. Yeah, undefeated,
wow.
But no ring.
He went on the roast of Tom Brady and said, "Tom, why didn't we cheat when I was on the team?"
It's fair.
Yeah, he was a cheat, basically. Anyway, last defensive room. Back to you, Reece. This is the room. Oh, was it?
It's Tom's turn.
It's my turn now.
Tom's turn. Is this the room that we've got the most questions about going into the season?
In terms of depth, absolutely. I think in terms of the starters, again, I'm pretty confident with every single one of our starters across the board in the entire offense. No questions whatsoever. So we've got Byron Murphy and Isaiah Rodgers. Byron Murphy, obviously, we signed to a big new contract in the offseason. And Isaiah Rodgers was a player that Brian Flores really wanted to bring in, got his man. Then the depth is questionable because we've only got two other cornerbacks on the roster in Jeff Okudah, who was a bit of a bust after being, I think, third overall pick in a draft about 4 years ago. And Dwight McGlothern, who was an undrafted free agent last year. He did impress last season when he played in his limited number of snaps. But Okudah, we don't know exactly what we've got in the tank with him, and McGlothern, he was undrafted for a reason. But there is still time. We have, well, as we record, we've still got about 10 days before the opening game of the season. So that's plenty of time to get more bodies in and make roster moves like that. This is one of the things I wanted to highlight today, is that even though we've announced an initial roster yesterday, Tuesday, there are, as the Thielen move proves, it's by no means going to be that on actual day one game, like game day.
I don't like that he went undrafted for a reason, because the reasons are sometimes stupid. Ivan's pace was too small.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but like I say, players improve. Like, players have different development curves, and obviously Dwight McGlothern is a bit of maybe a late bloomer. Who knows? And I'm glad we've got him on the team because, like I say, in the snaps he played last season, he played well. But you never know. You never know how these things are going to pan out. And that is a very, very lacking cornerback room in terms of depth.
Yeah, and I think we probably do bring someone in. I am by no means a connoisseur of the cornerback in the NFL, but you guys know way more than me. If I'm going to put you all on the spot, if we draft or bring in another cornerback into that 53-man roster, who are they, where they're coming from, and when are they coming? John, I'm going you first.
I can't. I'm still going over the Blackman news.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, it's a delicate subject for you.
It's a delicate situation for me. I'm still getting over the Blackman news, so I can't speak impartially on this. So I wave my fifth.
Reece?
I'm going to be boring and say that the answer's already on the roster.
Ooh.
we hear how happy people are with Theo Jackson, and we know that Josh Metellus plays anywhere. And all the 4 guys in the cornerback room are capable of playing outside corner. So I think that your answer is actually potentially on there already in the form of Josh Metellus. If you need to play a nickel or a big nickel defense, he's there. Do I think someone else comes in? Big Deal Rich has a few yards left in the tank, apparently, although he has gone on record as saying the last place you want him to play is cornerback.
Look, but at least you don't have to catch it.
I was going to say, he's got the hands to prove he can play cornerback.
Might as well be wearing oven mitts.
There's not really been anyone cut, though, has there, in the cornerbacks who's noticeable?
Other than trading away Mekhi Blackman, there's not really. No, we didn't have any depth there to begin with.
Any other team, though, hasn't really got rid of anyone of note. So maybe you're asking Gilmore if he wants to come back and play one more year as a depth role, because where else are you going to look? I mean, those veteran guys don't bother with training camp now. They do get signed around this time of year because they don't want to put their bodies through camp. I mean, there's a reason Harrison Smith's not been out there. Apparently he's had some illness as well, but you're not going to risk him.
Unnecessary. That's fair enough. They get enough workout in the gym to keep themselves healthy. It's not like they need to be running around after young rookies at preseason all the time. I think you're right. It's going to be an interesting one. And are we going to do the special teams? Let's move on to the special teams room. Everyone wants to know who's going to be
just a suggestion at cornerback. Could we bring back Stephon Gilmore? Just on a 1 year.
You want to? How much did we pay him last time when he was here?
Well, it would be less to bring him back now.
4 million or 6 million?
It was 7, I think.
Oh.
But it would be less now.
I think cap space left.
A bit, yeah.
But we need to roll some cap space over for next year, I believe. I would like.
I don't think it rolls over like that.
It does.
It does.
It does, yeah.
Interesting.
Well, interesting.
Which is why teams like the Commanders can probably make a big push because they didn't spend for years.
So there was a bit of a punting battle in pre-season. Who's made the punting room?
The wrong one, except for the one that we all liked, can't actually hold the ball, so he kind of couldn't make the team.
Excuse me. Reece does not speak for me. We all
doesn't speak for me either.
You think Oscar Chapman could hold, or do you just hate fun football and not like banana balls?
No, you seem to think that Ryan Wright was outclassed on the punting.
I mean, he was a worse punter in the preseason. That's just the numbers show the net punting yards for Oscar Chapman were better, but the punter's job is also to hold the ball on field goals, and Oscar Chapman could not figure that out.
No.
Which is, I think they'll bring him back on practice squad as the free IPPP member. Well, yeah, because he's international, we can bring him back as an extra body without him counting towards our numbers. So we can have 17 on the practice squad instead of the normal 16.
And we absolutely know that
he's very raw.
Well, in this situation, you could say, well, he's not holding the ball well because of the long snapper, but we know the best long snapper in football plays on the Vikings. DePola, I'm assuming, has made I didn't even look, but I'm assuming he's made the 53. So we'd like to see him back next season. But yeah, is Wright resting on the laurels of his first season with the Vikings, where he actually looked good? I remember his first season, and people were pretty high on him. I remember he drew a couple of penalties as well for getting hit after the kick, and everyone was like, and he's a big guy, and I was like, yeah, that's going to be our punter for a long time to come. And he's just steadily declined season after season after season. But yeah, it'd be nice that if he had another nice, good season to prove a few people wrong, but maybe that's just me.
Yeah. As much as
sorry, John, go on.
As much as I defend him, he's kind of resting on that first season. He played absolutely outstanding, but the rules have significantly changed in punting since then. So, yeah.
The rules are the same, are they not?
Well,
the punter is always typically held that. I don't know. I'm just
not in Madden. It's usually the QB3, but
it's QB2 actually.
well, whatever.
A good chance is not a reason to keep someone on a roster unless it's CJ Ham. I'm just saying as well. That's got to go out there.
Well, you might be right. But anyway, let's move on to the best drafted penalty kick taker in college football ever. Is that right?
Penalty kick.
Sorry, I am.
Have you been watching a bit of rugby?
I might have crossed over into a different UK sport there, but place kicker. Is that what we call it?
Yeah, he's a place kicker. It's Will Reichard. He's he struggled a little bit coming back from injury last season.
Rushed back from injury.
Adequately replaced by John Parker Romo, who now plays for the Patriots. I think still.
Played for him in preseason.
Yeah, I don't know if they kept him though. That's the thing.
Ooh, I have not checked.
And Rijkaard was always going to win it. Like there was no other option. It was going to be him. We know he can kick automatic field goals, basically. Like that he did it up until his injury, and I assume now with a full off season under his belt, he'll be able to do it again.
He did look good in pre-season. Apart from, you could point out the ones he missed in pre-season were down to the holding. You could clearly see the ones we just missed were down to the holding.
Where the ball was dropped and not set properly. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see Will the Thrill back. I'm looking forward to the whole season now, and something that I'm going to drop a bit of a bombshell on the podcast now, because something that we haven't actually discussed before. But usually, I know this sounds very off the cuff, and sometimes we just have a bit of a session before the podcast to say, I'm going to ask this question. I didn't say that before this, but some things that because we're a UK and Ireland podcast, and because the Premier League season and the rest of the football season is 2 games into it, and you could say that some of the biggest transfers in that sport are yet to happen. There's a lot of upset managers across Europe saying, this is my ding ding. I've mentioned Sunderland again, but we're after a centre back from Bologna, who their manager at the weekend said he let the goal in this weekend because he couldn't concentrate on the game because he was speaking to his agent the morning of the game trying to get a transfer to Sunderland, which it never happens. But I can say it this week.
I've never known anyone to be so excited about a move to Sunderland.
Could European football learn from the NFL in terms of trying to get this roster and trying to get your squad organised before the first game of the season? Because for me, when I look at the NFL, I know there is still some changes to happen, and I know that during the season changes can happen, but it just feels much more organised.
Well, and there's the trade deadline in week 8, so it's not I don't think there's anything that needs learning. Team players can still move like trade wise up until week 8.
European football, they actually do have to set a roster, Richard. But as a Sunderland fan, you wouldn't know about European
25-man squad. I get the 25-man squad rule, but if you look at
more to the point, though, they tried it a few years ago. It was a disaster. They were going to close the transfer window early, and it was a mess.
I still think they should go back to the way the transfer window was before and have it open all the way through the season up until March.
PJ, is that blasphemy? I don't know.
You know what's blasphemy, Rich? You skipped over the long snapper.
I said DePola. I said.
And DePola made it. We talk at great length about punters and
first man on the team.
Well, John and Rich have got to go soon. We need to just rattle through it.
Unbelievable. Well done, Ash DePola, for being the best in the league.
Shocking.
I will order some bagels on his behalf as an apology. I'll try to get that organised. No, I think again, coming back to it, I like the idea of having a pretty settled squad before the first game of the season. Everyone knows what they're doing. I've had to change my fantasy football, UK European soccer. I've had to change my fantasy football this week because Izig has been transferred to Arsenal, and now apparently I've got too many Arsenal players in this squad, which is ridiculous. That's not my fault. That's his fault. But anyway, I like this settled squad, pretty much settled squad before the season kicks off. I think, like I say, we could learn a thing or two from the NFL. It feels,
but it's not like our football teams bring in 90 players and then have to cut down. Like It's pretty much
Chelsea
like
did.
the squad is pretty much settled. It's just they have it continue on up for the first few weeks of the season. Anyway,
I get that. Anyway, moving on. We've been through the 53-man roster. I think we're all. If we were going to give a grading to how we've ended up, I mean, are we saying it's a B plus? I reckon a B plus is pretty fair. I think we're going into the season.
Maybe B flat. I don't know.
I'm B minus.
Ooh, John.
I'd go C.
A C.
It's not set yet. We can't judge it yet. As Tom said, this squad is very different to what it will look like on opening game, as far as I'm concerned. So
probably not super different, but yeah, I know what you mean.
We've got a few extra picks that we've picked up, and I want to see how they're going to use them, because I see a few picks being used before game one.
I think you're probably right. Otherwise, I think we pick every player in the 6th round next year. So it'd be good to use some of those. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the 53. I think we're going into the season pretty optimistic. If JJ McCarthy is a serviceable quarterback and we expect him to be at least that good, I think we have a pretty good season. And next week we will get onto season predictions, how we are going to do, how we think we're going to do. We'll have a little bit of a look into that. We'll obviously be a bit closer to the final roster for the season as well, so a bit more of an understanding of that.
Guys, it's finally here. The next show is our preview show for week 1.
Preview week 1, and it is Monday. Is it Monday Night Football against the Bears that we've got?
It is.
Does everyone book the day off work next day?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, I have. Yeah. Also, the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm not going to be around.
You two are so insufferable.
I don't think he was even doing it on purpose.
Wasn't
it? He definitely was.
Anyway, so we're happy going in with 53. TPJ, you've said you wanted to give us some news around the game in Ireland. Tell us what's going on. Make it quick because we are running out of time.
Fair enough. I'll do it very quickly then. We've obviously been waiting for the last few tickets for Croke Park to be released. They have now been released, or you can now apply for tickets to sit on the usually standing Deneen Hill 16 at Croke Park. There will be seating in place for the game between the Vikings and the Steelers. Tickets, you just need to go to the NFL UK website. Well, I'm sure we can find a place to put the link. I believe that every single ticket in that section though is €250.
Yeah,
it's a pretty penny.
I didn't know if you were announcing the opposition as the Steelers or whether you were announcing the NFL.
The NFL of the Steelers.
That is a hefty price.
It is a hefty price.
But
I've done it.
Yeah, is it going to be fun? I think it's going to be fun.
I think it's going to be fun.
To be sat on the hill. Is anyone going to sit? No one's going to sit, are they? Let's face facts.
I'll be sat quite a bit.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
So people can apply for up to 4 tickets, but you can only apply if you haven't already bought tickets for somewhere else in the stadium. And the other last thing is that the application process closes on Sunday. I believe that's the 31st. So only a couple days after this podcast is released, you'll still be able to apply for those. I think that's all the news.
That's all the news. Get your applications in. Reece, cross over to you for the Mumbo Jumbo.
Yep, Mumbo Jumbo. More Mumbo Jumbo this time. First of all, John is setting off in about 5 weeks' time on his cycle from Croke Park to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You can donate to John, who is cycling for Mind, the Purple Pedal, justgiving.com/page/the Purple Pedal. Then, more exciting Mumbo Jumbo, because fantasy football is back. It's back and it's better, I think, because we're using Sleeper this time, which is better than the NFL app. And links are going to be going out on all our socials and the website, where you can join our fantasy football leagues. We are giving away one special prize to one very lucky winner. All the terms and conditions will be on the website and on Facebook. But we're giving away a signed Andrew Van Ginkel jersey. I said it right this time. I said the name correctly. Rich is excited. John's excited. I think he might be yawning. He's just got out of bed. But yes, signed Gink jersey is our top prize this year in fantasy football. We're also going to be giving away vouchers to the club Etsy store as well. But yeah, links will be going out for that. Really excited for this. It's going to be a great season of fantasy football. Then all the other mumbo jumbo. Rich, shall I take it away?
Yes, please, because I can never remember.
Okay. If you've liked what you've heard, then you can, or seen if you're watching on YouTube, ring the bell, subscribe, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. If you're listening to us, you found us, give us a follow, subscribe, however you want to do it. Rate us, like us, comment. Everything is good. It helps the algorithm. We're trying to do a great thing over here for Minnesota Viking fans in the UK and Ireland, but also worldwide. We're trying to do great things for charity. There's a reason John is cycling over 600 kilometers. I think he actually even made it longer for some reason. He's a fool. He made his cycle longer for a free night sleep. But yeah, if you like what you heard and want to get in touch with us, email us ukvikespod@gmail.com, ukvikespod@gmail.com. Facebook, UK and Ireland Minnesota Vikings Fan Club. X, you can message us on X or on Instagram or Threads at UK Vikes Fans. Blue Sky UK and A&D, IRE Vikes Fans. And, well, I think that's everything. Look for us on YouTube if you're listening on Spotify. The podcast has even more to offer in video.
It certainly has. It certainly has. Reece, I'm impressed every time you manage to reel that stuff out. I promise it's not written down anywhere. It is just in Reese's head. Very impressive. Yeah,
that explains a lot.
It's back. Let's just leave on that. It is back. We are 1 week away from Vikings NFL football, Monday Night Football. We're going to do a preview show next week. We're going to do season predictions. We're all excited. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. But there is.
Before we go, I would just like to announce on the purple pedal, we have reached our target, our first target. We have exceeded it already. Literally, as we were speaking, a very generous donation has just come in. Thank you very much, TPJ.
That's all right, mate. You deserve it.
And yeah, so we're going to be raising that. I'm sure we can raise that now. But yeah, we have reached £1,000, our first target of £1,000. So we're looking to outdo it. Come on, let's really push this out now, guys.
You have to do it now, John. You have to do it. There is no going back. Obviously, we will edit all that out. Reece, can you just go in to the admin console and change the limit, please? Because there is still more to do. We still need more people to dip into their pockets. For mine, it's a very good cause.
And if we get to £2,000, Tesco are donating £400.
They certainly are. Well, every little helps.
That's it.
If I'd known that, I would have donated more.
For people that have already donated, there is an opportunity to redonate. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I think
next payday.
I think we have exhausted our time. We've exhausted your time. Thank you very much for listening. One last thing to say, which is say goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, gentlemen, indeed. Thank you very much for listening. Cheers. Ta-ra.